I think the price increase can be attributed to a few factors. First and foremost, as we've seen over the years, Lincoln Road has transitioned from a predominantly boutique tenant mix to one of national retailers. And with them, they've brought a philosophy of quality over quantity when it comes to their footprint. So I think for the first time, there's a reevaluation of Lincoln Road as a high street in our market for the inherent values that it's always had with its exposure to both the seasonal resident and, of course, the international tourist. And lastly, our market has seen two of the larger retail deals in Forever 21 and H&M on Lincoln Road of 22,000 and 39,000 square foot respectively. These certainly had an impact on where rental rates have been going. I think like any larger construction project, it's somewhat of a moving target. I think that we can expect those retailers to see delivery of their vanilla shell spaces sometime third quarter of 2012 with delivery of the actual retail presentation mid-following year. I think it can only be good. Both of those retailers are very strong and bring with them a significant customer base that will seek them out. So if you had individuals that, let's say, stayed away from Lincoln Road because they couldn't find some of their favorite brands, again, bringing in two large national retailers in large format spaces to the street benefits everyone around them. They're located positionally a little bit more towards the east side of the mall, which only adds to the benefit of already having the new Frank Gehry designed Symphony building that just opened last year but will experience its first full season. And then we also have the delivery of the mixed-use garage retail project on Drexel just off of Lincoln, delivering a nice amount of square footage, assemblage of square footage just off the street. So I think all of these things bodes well for the long-term health of the mall to the east side. On the west side, they've continued to enjoy a renaissance as the 1111 project matured and brought in a premium tenant mix that again has shored up what was already a fairly strong area of the street. Clearly, rental rates are going to have a long-term effect on how national retailers or any retailer views their longevity on the street. I think at some point you have to weigh the value of the marketing advantage of having all those eyes that are, annually on Lincoln Road versus your bottom line and whether or not that rent number justifies the expense the other way. But having said that, I think that we're already seeing some anticipation of that with announced developments both to the north and to the south of the street. And at some point, if there are larger retailers, or any retailer for that matter, that should choose to move off the road or find a home in proximity to the road, that in the next few years we'll see the availability of space to be able to do that. Well, we still have the strength of the Collins Avenue Fashion Corridor. It's proven a tried and true location, again, for the retailer that necessarily doesn't want to pay the kind of rent numbers that we're seeing on Lincoln Road, but still wants access to that customer. And of course, like in any market that's experiencing good growth, there's always room for another place, and it looks like that place is the emergence of Sunset Harbor. Well, Sunset Harbor, ironically enough, is a little bit of a tale of two cities. You've got a very strong residential enclave, bordered up against what was long known as somewhat of an industrial retail corridor. It was the place where your car got towed on Miami Beach, or where you might go to have your car repaired, or some salon services and things like that. But a few years ago, some food users started to see the opportunity to reach that local market and made investments in getting into streets in close proximity to the residential enclave right in the middle of Sunset Harbor, and it proved very successful to them. And since then, food users and some soft good retailers have followed them into the market, continue to do well, and now we're seeing some new development A local developer who owned quite a bit of property there, again, where these towing yards had once been, is now in the process of developing a mixed-use garage and retail presentation of approximately 40,000 square feet. My favorite new restaurant in the market is definitely Pub Belly Gastropub, and ironically enough, it's in Sunset Harbor. They came into the market about a year ago. A couple of young guys that, again, I think wanted to be close to that residential locals market versus, let's say, catering to the tourists that a lot of the other operators try to do. And they really delivered and are delivering an excellent product. It's a very diverse menu, both Latin and Asian influences, and it's just delicious, and the reviews are great, and you can go there any night of the week. You might have to wait a little bit. They don't take reservations, but there's a line out the door. People happily wait, and they're really just doing a great job. So much so, and they've been so successful that they've just opened secondary concepts to the east and west of them in Barcelona and Pub Belly Sushi.